welcome to Munich Brewery Steins. And it's going to be hosted by myself and Rhoda. And I'm going to give the overview, and then Rhoda is going to follow me with drilling down on individual breweries and their steins. Okay? And we're going to cover like a time period from like the late 1860s and then leading up to about World War I. This is kind of the golden age. This is the time period that we find these guys right here, the ones that we collect. Why Munich? Well, you know, Munich is the beer capital of the world, and there's many steins to choose from. There was many breweries. You know, if you're not collecting Munich, you might have to collect all the other German ones, or some people will collect just a Munich brewery. So here in 1871, this is the production rates, and at that point there were 17 breweries. But what's kind of neat about this is it kind of shows us what breweries, what steins are easier to find. See, Spaten, Lowenbräu, Franziskaner, Hacker Shore, those are, we find them. We also find a lot of Hofbräu, and Augustiner. So those are outliers. Zackenwald is harder to find. Unions, Utrikindl, harder to find. These down here, now you're really talking ones that are very difficult to find. They're the ones that are left today. And so, the only ones that are allowed at Oktoberfest, and only 2 of them have local ownership, and that'd be, HB and Augustiner. So Bill, these add a lot of pizzazz to the collection. Like you have a whole bunch of these, it's gray, but I still think it's beautiful. But you add these to it, and all of a sudden it becomes, a little bit more joyously. So this is a good example right here of the very, very early ones from what the 1860s. The neck there, it's a little different than you find later on in ones that like these guys here. You've got combing on the body.
So now we're going to go to the individual breweries. The slides here are organized by the 6 remaining early breweries, ordered by their founding date, along with some other mergers and acquisitions. Then we're going to look at 3 breweries that disappeared and other brewery-related steins. So you can keep track of where we are. The upper right-hand corner has a parent brewery logo, and every time we switch breweries, you're going to have a blue triangle. Here are a couple of steins that were used at the brewery. The earlier one on the left has no capacity mark, but does have the fill line scratched in. The body has a bit of a neck, and you can see the idea for the logo on the flat lid with the pastoral staff in the center, initials on the left and right. The city is not on the body or lid. That's another thing. The early ones didn't have the city name on it. The later one on the right has a capacity mark and a raised lid with the logo. The city is on the body and on the lid. You might recognize the image on the left. This is of the famous waitress Coletta. Lowenbräu had her painted by a different artist, and you can see her surrounded by various Lowenbräu logo wearers. Münchner Kindle eventually adopted the Schützenliesel as an additional logo. Unfortunately, a cute logo didn't make up for uneven beer quality and a poor economy.
Yeah, and our son, who's not really into the Stein thing, loves the ones used at the brewery because they were made with the purpose of being used. They were used, and actually they've held up. The pewter has been quite stout.
Yeah.
Well, they're robust.
They are
Well, that's
robust.
another thing is that even with the souvenir steins as compared to regular steins, the pewter is really beefy.
Mm-hmm.